Yeet! What's up, everybody? Rev Sauce 9 back in the building for you guys. We're yeeting over yeet, yeet. Anyway, we're going to talk about Scott D'Amore being backstage at AEW's Dynamite this week. We're going to talk about it. We're going to go into depth a little bit. I got a lot to say about it because you guys have been talking about it within my live streams, within my game streams, all of it here on YouTube. And we're building a multiverse, so come check me out on Twitch, Trovo, Beam, Facebook, Rumble, all the places. We're on everything. We're building a multiverse, the RWO coming at you. And yeet! We are here talking about some Scott D'Amore shit. So here we are. Scott D'Amore, one of my favorite bookers right now. He brings a fresh face. Tony Khan, you need to go and sign him. Sign him. Make him an EVP. Do something. Please, you guys got to do something with your booking. You need a creative mind in place. Or maybe it's a partnership with Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. Who knows? But I do think Tony Khan needs to work with Scott D'Amore at this point. Tony Khan needs better minds than RJ City and John Moxley because it ain't working. The Death Riders have been garbage. Whatever RJ City's been working on is garbage. I love both of those guys. They're both creatively funny. Moxley is a creative genius at times, but the Death Riders and whatever RJ City's working for the women's division is not working. It is floundering. It is actually flatlining, and it's cold. They need something. They need a Scott D'Amore. So, Tony Khan, if you watch my channel, please, for the love that's all it's holy, please sign this man. Do a partnership. Treat it like NXT. I don't care. Do something. You need something right now because you guys are drowning. You guys are drowning in the creative right now department. You have all this talent that you could be curb stomping WWE since you say you're competitors with them. You could be curb stomping and doing better things. You could be truly the alternative, or be in the ballpark. But you guys are dropping the ball. You're fumbling. You're fumbleino over here. Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, you guys have all these creative minds in AEW, like a Jerry Lynn, like Dustin Rhodes, like all these people. For shit's sakes, you had Mark Henry on your roster, and you did shit with him. These are guys that are creative minds. Like, I just don't get it. And then rumors of Shane McMahon coming in, that never came to fruition. Like, guys, Tony Khan, you have all this money, and you keep hiring all these wrestlers, but you can't put one dime into creative. Like, Tony, it's time for you to give up the booking decisions at this point. Maybe have some final says and things, but allow a team of people. Come up with something. What WWE has is a whiteboard, same with New Japan, and they scribble on there what they're going to do for 6 months. It was showed behind the curtain of WrestleMania 40 of what they were going to do for 6 months. Then they had to scramble. Like, you don't have a team in place. Like, they have Jeremy Borash over in WWE doing amazing things, these vignettes. You guys got to do better. You guys have Warner Brothers Discovery. I don't know why you're not tapping into that DC universe or the Harry Potter or any of the shit. Like, there's so much stuff, untapped potential with Warner Brothers Discovery, Mortal Kombat. Like, I don't understand this with creative. Like, Kenny Omega's there, and you guys can't even figure out how to make a video game. Like, I keep hearing these rumors in Windows. Why didn't you go work with NetherRealm? They're under the Warner Brothers Discovery branch for games. Like, what are we doing? You need to go hire Scott D'Amore at this point. I just think it's a travesty if you guys don't. You need him. Go make a partnership with Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. Maybe treat it as your NXT. Do something. AEW needs a shot in the arm at the moment. It's not just me saying it. Everybody's been saying it. Everybody and their mother don't want AEW to fail. They just want better. They want a better product. They want to be able to sink their teeth into something and feel like, hey, wrestling is thriving every week. I have lowered my standards on AEW every week at this point. I have stated WWE Monday Night Raw, NXT, and then I kind of put TNA there, and then I kind of put SmackDown, and then it's everything else to do with Ring of Honor and AEW because they keep doing these bland creative options, and they're not moving forward. They're not progressing things. I'm not seeing the vision with the Death Riders. The Death Riders have kind of ran their course and kind of need to go. So at the end of the day, for me, Scott D'Amore, Put him in. This is the shot that you need. You need to shake up your commentary booth too. Like a lot of people have been saying, Tony Schiavone just is a robot, and Excalibur's a robot, and now Taz kind of floundering. Bring in Mario Ronaldo. Put Don Callis and Mario Ronaldo as your A team, and then I would say your B team should be Ia Kabani and Caprice Coleman, and then maybe you want to put Excalibur mixed in with maybe if he's available, I would say maybe a Corey Graves, and kind of just redo AEW, reimagine AEW in 2025 at this point. Maybe just redo everything and sit back and get back to what made AEW so great. It is still to me the alternative, but they got to do better. I just feel like they're doing more matches and not worrying about story. They're worrying more about being a promotion like boxing and like PFL and UFC more than actually giving you storylines. I don't care about dream matches. Build your talent. Just fucking build your talent. That's all we're asking for. Every one of us has said this. We don't despise AEW. We just want you to build for the future, and we want you to build better. And John Moxley, shut your mouth, bro. Stop saying that you're building for the future when you can't even get your own storyline properly with RJ City. They need Scott D'Amore. They need a Scotty D'Amore. They need him. Like, it's a fact. And supposedly the rumor and stuff throughout Facebook was that WWE's also interested in Scott D'Amore. So AEW better get their shit together, because if they don't, they're going to lose out on a brilliant mind that knows what he wants and what he wants to do. And Scott D'Amore said that the pet project with Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, if he got signed with a major promotion, he would work alongside of them as well. So at the end of the day, I'm saying this in 2025, they have money to throw around. Sign Scott D'Amore to a multi-year deal. He's revolutionary. He's genius. He took TNA to where they are now. They need to have a visionary there. They need to have somebody that's on the finger on the pulse shit. And I honestly think if they really wanted to go there, and I know that was rumored and speculated, you need to hire somebody like a Big Splash. And that would be shocking for me. And have these two guys run your creative. Tony Khan, you could sit back, and here's the thing with Tony Khan, what I don't understand with him, he could sit back and print money. Let people run your company for you, and you print money. Kind of go in the shadows like a Ted Turner, and allow people like Scott D'Amore, maybe you bring in a Shane McMahon, maybe you bring in other creative people that have been sitting on the sidelines. Let them sit and work, and you can get a final say in things, but at the end of the day, you need to start doing better when it comes to creative. You need to start doing better on things, and I think that's a lot. I think a lot of us are seeing it, and you're starting to see what shows like Australia Grand Slam. It's not really a Grand Slam. It's more of a show that you're calling Grand Slam. And I got a video on that. We're going to talk about that here in depth here in a video. But honestly, I just think AEW, Grand Slam, and all this, they got to figure it out. They got some time before All In Texas. They got to figure it in. They got to get deep into things and figure it out, because they're in some trouble. There's a reason why Tony Khan is getting L's all around. There's reasons why that he's getting shit on X, Blue Skies, and Threads and things like that. It's because when you put on a shit product and you keep regurgitating the same shit over and over and over and over again, and 10-man tags, people are going to compare your booking to Vince McMahon booking. And I know Tony Khan don't like hearing that from us as fans, but it's becoming very apparent you like to do regurgitating lazy booking. I call it lazy booking. I will never call it Vince McMahon stuff, because Vince McMahon's a creep and shit. But it's Dixie Carter booking to me. Dixie Carter would do this kind of shit because she had no clue how to run a wrestling promotion. And it's like Tony Khan is Dixie Carter 2.0 with a lot of money and has no clear direction on what they want to do. And I think you have Jeff Jarrett there. You have a lot of people there that are brilliant minds. Put them in places, and I guarantee that you will succeed. Stop signing talent. Sign logical talent that benefits your product. End of story. And I'm not going to be like all these other wrestling channels out there that are sitting back and going, AEW's dying, they're garbage. No, they can turn it around and fix it. They're already in implemented settings, small venues. I've told you this is working for them. It comes off on TV that they have a full arena of people They just need to keep continuing doing what they're doing there and build upon it. Fix your fucking merchandise sell shit. I heard that's in the toilet bowl. Do better. Stop trying to undercut wrestlers that don't want to be there and release wrestlers. Actually build talent of people that want to be there, not people that don't want to be there. Release Keith Lee, release Ray Phoenix. Get these people off your roster. Get the fat trimmed and start putting people in place. You just brought in Samoa Joe, which I don't think you have an idea what to do with him. Powerhouse Hobbs, you're pushing him the right way, but he's kind of going 3 steps back when you bring Samoa Joe back. And then you bring in Megan Bayne. I better hope and see, for the love that's all that's freaking holy, they better do the right things with her. That's why I think Scott D'Amore should be signed. I think Scott D'Amore can kind of put Tony Khan in the right place, kind of be his right-hand man, maybe be a consultant, maybe do something. I want Scott D'Amore to be in AEW. I want to see AEW succeed and do better in 2025. Right now, they're fucking up really hard, and they're botching a lot of things, and I really am pulling for AEW, but there's a reason why WWE is the NFL of wrestling, and there's a reason why AEW is number 2, the UFL of wrestling, because they keep making these odd moves, and it just makes no sense. You know, Tony Khan then tries to make it sense, and it doesn't make sense. You know, book your characters right and get the right people in place to book your show. You can work within and maybe bring in a Scott D'Amore, and maybe you can build your product to be legendary. You could have these 2021, 2019 type feuds like you used to have, but I think they've lost sight on what they are. I think AEW could turn it around. But again, they're only 5 years in. I think a lot of people need to sit down and calm down. WWE and Vince McMahon went through their 50 Shades of Grey. You know what I mean? When it went to ups and downs, you know. A lot of people don't realize that Vince McMahon bet the farm on WrestleMania 1 and could have lost. And we couldn't have had a competition. It could have just been Ted Turner coming up with wrestling, and that was that. You know what I mean? If WWE didn't make the moves back in the 80s and into the 90s and then the late 90s, we wouldn't have had wrestling that it was. So again, AEW could turn it around. We could have this different conversation. But until that happens, until that day happens, AEW is just going to get shit on. And Tony Khan's going to look like an idiot for a minute. And that's just the way it's going to go. And there is reasons why cable viewership is dropping. It's not just because people are cutting the cord. It's more of people are just not interested. They feel it's blanded. They feel it's mid, that you could do better. And those people will come back. The diehards that are tuning off, they'll go watch something else for a minute and come back. That's just how the brain works and how short-form content people work. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I love Tony Khan. He's got to do better. Scott D'Amore honestly needs to be signed. Sign him for a multi-year deal. Partner with his promotion. Bring in Mario Ronaldo. Let's get it going. Let's get AEW on the right track at this point. Anyway, my name is RevSauce9. Purely my thoughts on this. Scott D'Amore being backstage this week is a win-win for me. Please sign Matt Cardona. AEW, please, for once, do something right and do the right things by the fans. Fans want it. I want it. Let's make it happen.